There is a moment, just before midnight, when the world thins. The Egyptians called it the soft hour, a brief crack in the veil when light and shadow overlap like two truths trying to occupy the same breath. Priests of Thoth believed that during this hour, a person's ancestral memories rise to the surface, not to haunt them, but to be rewritten. This ritual was never recorded on papyrus, never carved into temple walls, never spoken in open chambers. It was whispered from teacher to student, only when the student's soul showed signs of remembering itself, a subtle trembling of awareness, a strange quiet inside the chest, a sudden heaviness behind the eyes, as though some ancient watcher had awakened. And if you are here, listening now, perhaps the same watcher has awakened in you. For thousands of years, humans have mistaken their deepest wounds for personality. They walk with fears that are not theirs, carry shame that did not begin with them, repeat patterns written long before their birth. What if the anger you cannot explain is not yours? What if the hesitation that always ruins your timing is not yours? What if the self-doubt that coils around your ambitions is just an echo, a memory belonging to someone whose bones now rest in forgotten soil? The priests of Thoth understood this. They called it the weight of the lineage. They believed that every human carries threads of energy, some luminous, some fractured, passed down through blood, breath, and memory fields. These threads shape your choices long before you recognize them as your own. Modern science hints at this truth through epigenetics, the way trauma inscribes itself onto DNA like a faint scar. But the ancients had no microscopes. They didn't need them. They had vibration. They had ritual. They had the night chamber of Thoth, a place not of stone but of inner architecture, a sacred geometry built inside the practitioner's consciousness. Tonight, you will enter it, not as a visitor, not as a student, but as someone reclaiming what has been stolen through generations of silence. Before we begin, breathe slowly. Not the shallow breath of daily life, but the deep, ancient breath that humans once used before language taught them to fear their own thundering hearts. Inhale as if you are drawing air from under the earth. Exhale as if you are releasing the stories that do not belong to you. Because this ritual, this dangerous, luminous, unforgettable ritual, does not work through belief. It works through resonance. Thoth taught that sound is not merely heard. It is felt in the memory field where old patterns hide. A single correctly spoken vibration can shake loose wounds carried across centuries. A single moment of true stillness can reveal a destiny that has been waiting like a closed door. In later sections, you will learn the ancient chant used to uncoil inherited trauma, why silence becomes a listening force in the ritual, how to enter the night chamber and confront the memory threads, signs the clearing has begun and why some people feel the shift instantly, warnings the priests gave to those who were not ready. But before any technique is learned, you must make a decision, not with your mind, not with your logic, but with the subtle field around your heart. Ask yourself quietly, Am I willing to let go of what was never mine? Am I ready to meet the version of myself that has been waiting beneath the noise? If something inside you tightens, trembles, warms, or chills, that is your answer. And if you feel nothing at all, that too is an answer. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is a mirror. Ancient Tibetans believed that those who feel nothing during an initiation are standing at the doorway but have not yet stepped through. Egyptians believed the opposite, that emptiness is the first sign that the old energies are retreating. Both teachings are true. Because tonight, you are not here to seek visions or miracles. You are here to clear the invisible chains that have guided your choices for too long. And the ritual you are about to learn, the Night Ritual of Thoth, is one that initiates claimed could change the path of an entire bloodline when performed correctly, even once. So place your hands gently together. Lower your gaze. Feel the vibration gathering beneath your ribs. The night has opened. The ritual begins soon, and something ancient has already begun listening for you.
The Ancestral Echo Field. This is the hidden chamber of inherited memory, the place where echoes of those who came before you gather like unseen constellations directing the tides of your life. Few have ever sensed it consciously, yet every human lives inside it, as fish live in water they do not see. It's difficult to admit this, but most people are not who they think they are. They believe their fears are personal. Their hesitations are logical. Their repeated setbacks are unfortunate coincidences. But the ancient priests of Kemet saw reality differently. They believed every human walks with two shadows: the shadow cast by the body and the shadow cast by the lineage. The second shadow is the more dangerous one. It has no shape, it has no face, but it whispers. A mother's heartbreak becomes the daughter's distrust of love. A grandfather's failure becomes the grandson's instinct to sabotage opportunities. An ancestor's unspoken shame becomes a strange heaviness you've carried since childhood. These are not metaphors. They are vibrational imprints woven into your energy field like subtle programming. Modern science sees glimpses of this through epigenetics, the discovery that emotional experiences can mark DNA, altering how genes express for generations. But the ancients didn't need genes. They felt the patterns directly. In the Temple of Thoth, initiates were trained to perceive this subtle realm. They described it as the field of echoes, a layered dimension of faint vibrations, each tied to a memory thread passed down through blood and soul. One initiate wrote, "The first time I sensed the echo field, it felt like the walls of my own mind were humming with stories that were not mine." This section will guide you to sense the same. But first, a warning. Not fearful, but respectful. When you enter the ancestral echo field, something in you will resist. It is not the ego. It is not fear. It is the old programming fighting for survival. Just noticing this field is enough to destabilize certain inherited patterns. Some will loosen instantly.
Some will cling to you like vines afraid of losing their host. This is why the ritual is done at night, when the mind weakens and the deeper field begins to speak. Tonight, you will not simply learn about this realm, you will step inside it. The first perception, the quiet tremble. Close your eyes for a moment, not yet in ritual, simply as a sensing exercise. Do you feel that subtle tension at the base of your chest? The faint buzzing at the edges of your awareness? The micro-emotion that cannot be named? That is the echo field stirring. It recognizes when you begin to look at it, the way dust dances in sunlight when a window is opened. A small flutter, a small shift. The Egyptians described this first perception as the soft tremble beneath the breath. Some students felt it like warmth, some like a cold drip of stillness, some like a pressure between the ribs, but everyone felt something. If you feel it now, even faintly, you have already entered the outer rim of the echo field. The second perception, the memory threads. The next layer is more elusive. Imagine that every emotion passed from your ancestors is a thread. Some threads vibrate bright gold. These are gifts, courage, intuition, compassion. Some threads vibrate in dull iron. These are the unhealed patterns: fear, scarcity, silence, rage. The echo field is made of these threads. When Thoth's initiates enter deep meditation, they often described seeing faint lines of light weaving around them in a vast network. Some claimed the threads looked like veins of cosmic ore. Others said they shimmered like strings of sound. Modern psychology provides a parallel. People often experience sudden emotional triggers that seem out of proportion to the situation. Science cannot explain why a person who has never known abandonment cries at the hint of distance, but the echo field can. Because the emotional response is not new, it is remembered. You are not reacting to the moment, you are reacting to the thread. The third perception, when the echo speaks. This part is not poetic, not symbolic, not metaphorical. In the night ritual, there comes a moment when one of the ancestral vibrations reveals itself, not with words, but with feeling. A sudden tightening of the throat, a flash of sadness, a memory you never lived, a strange thought that is not yours. One initiate described it like this: it felt as if a single emotion stepped forward from a crowd and asked me to notice it. This is the echo speaking. Some practitioners hear it as a whisper behind the left ear. Some hear a low hum in the bones. Some feel a magnetic pull toward an old pain they cannot name. Do not fear this moment. Fear is how the echo field keeps you from seeing it. The fact that it is speaking means you are ready. The hidden science of the field. If you want the modern explanation, here it is. Trauma and emotional patterns create micro-changes in the nervous system that can be passed down through generations. Children often inherit stress signatures, hyperreactivity, or emotional avoidance from parents who never meant to pass anything on. But the deeper truth, the one Thoth's priests protected,
is that emotions generate vibrational fields, and these fields imprint themselves on the energy body, not just the physical one. When a person dies, their energy dissolves back into the collective lineage field. Their joys, fears, strengths, and wounds remain as echoes, waiting for the next descendant to take them on. This is why some people are born with inexplicable anxieties, why some feel old sadness without ever having experienced loss, why some sabotage success even though they crave it. They are reenacting echoes. But echoes can be cleared. And tonight's ritual is one of the oldest, most dangerous, and most effective methods for doing so. The fourth perception, recognizing the foreign emotion. This is the moment everything shifts. Sit quietly for a second. Feel whatever emotion is subtly present in you right now. Is it a heaviness, a sharpness, a vague tension, a slow ache behind the solar plexus? Now ask it silently. Is this mine? If it softens, loosens, or shifts even slightly, the answer is no. You have just identified foreign programming. Thoth's initiates used this as the first major test. Most people fail because the lineage has disguised itself as identity. But when the foreign emotion reveals itself, the thread weakens. A crack appears in the programming, and that crack is where the night ritual will enter. The fifth perception. The echo field opens. The echo field opens when three conditions are met. You notice the tremble. You identify a thread. You question the origin. When these 3 points align, the field becomes permeable. The Egyptians called this moment the turning of the inner gate. Some felt a cold ring around the spine. Some felt the air growing heavier. Some felt a sudden sense of presence. The night chamber of Thoth. This is the inner sanctuary where shadows are confronted, ancestral threads are unraveled, and the old programming dissolves under the pressure of awakened consciousness. It is not a physical room, though temples once imitated its geometry. It is an architecture that appears only when the practitioner is ready, a chamber carved out of silence itself. If you've ever woken at 3 a.m. with the sense that something ancient was watching you, if you've ever felt a sudden wave of clarity in the darkness, if you've ever heard your own name whispered from inside your bones, then you've already brushed against the outer edges of this realm. For most people, that brush is enough to send them back to sleep. But you are still here, and that means the night chamber has begun forming. The Egyptian initiates described it in many ways. A vast obsidian hall, illuminated by no flame, yet glowing. A circular vault where the walls breathe with faint symbols. A corridor of darkness so pure that it feels like velvet on the skin. But every description has one thing in common. The chamber is built from your consciousness, but not controlled by it. You enter it, but you do not shape it. It shapes you. This is why the ritual is never taught to those still asleep. If the chamber forms around a mind that is unprepared, it amplifies whatever programming already exists, turning fear into madness, sorrow into paralysis, ego into delusion. For the awakened, it does the opposite. It reveals, it distills, it dissolves. Tonight, you enter it knowingly. The door that appears with no walls. The first sign the chamber has opened is a sensation that has no physical explanation. A doorway, vertical and weightless, seems to appear in front of you when your eyes are closed. Some feel it like a shift in temperature, warm on one side, cool on the other. Some feel a pressure, as though the air has thickened into a subtle column. Some see the faint outline of an arch made of pulsing darkness. Do not try to imagine it. Simply close your eyes now. Let your awareness hover a few inches in front of your forehead. Do you feel a gentle pull, like gravity turned sideways? That is the door. You do not walk through it. You allow yourself to be pulled. The door opens only when you stop trying to control your perception, when you soften, surrender, and let the deeper field take over. Ancient masters taught, the door to the night chamber is opened not by desire, but by release. And when the doorway pulls you inward, the chamber reveals itself. The room of shifting darkness. Inside the chamber, everything begins with darkness. Not the darkness of absence, but the darkness of origin, thick, alive, humming with unspoken meaning. This darkness is older than sound, older than memory, older than the stories your blood has been carrying for centuries. Some initiates panicked on their first entry. Their minds scrambled to see something, anything to anchor themselves. One master mocked them gently. You cannot see in the chamber because there is nothing external to see. You are inside your own program. The darkness is not a void. It is the raw material of the subconscious before it shapes itself into fears, emotions, beliefs, or identity. If you stay in this darkness long enough, shapes begin to form. Not images, but vibrational impressions. A tightening on the left side, a warmth on the right, a faint heaviness near the spine, a tremble behind the sternum. These are not sensations. They are the first appearances of the ancestral threads. But the chamber does not yet allow you to interact. It simply shows you where the patterns live. This is the diagnostic stage. And then something strange happens. The darkness begins to breathe. A slow expansion, a slow contraction, like a giant organism inhaling and exhaling. Do not fear this. You are not inside a being. The chamber is showing you rhythm, the rhythm of your inherited programming. Every pattern has a pulse. Some pulses are frantic. Some are slow and heavy. Some are sharp and chaotic, like a broken drumbeat looping endlessly. Let your chest match the chamber's breath. Inhale when it expands. Exhale when it contracts. You are synchronizing with your subconscious. This is the prerequisite for the ritual itself. The emergence of the sigil of Thoth. At a certain moment, unpredictable but unmistakable, a symbol appears in the darkness. Not drawn, not glowing, not visual. It appears as a pressure behind the forehead, like a geometric presence. This is the sigil of Thoth, though its shape is different for every practitioner. Some perceive it as a triangle, some as a spiral, some as 3 interlocking lines, some as an afterimage shifting between forms. What matters is not the pattern, but the feeling. A sudden intensification of awareness, a subtle ringing in the inner ear, a sense that something intelligent is observing you. The priests said, "The sigil appears when the chamber accepts your presence." This acceptance is not a blessing, it is a challenge. Because once the sigil appears, the chamber begins to reveal the one thread you must clear tonight. You do not choose the thread. The thread chooses you. The thread revealed. Most people assume their worst emotional pattern will emerge first. They expect abandonment, or fear, or shame, or anger. But the chamber is not sentimental. It does not prioritize what you think is important. It prioritizes what is ready to dissolve. Sometimes the thread that emerges is shockingly small, a hesitation about speaking up. Sometimes it is massive, a sorrow buried for generations. The thread reveals itself as a pull, a vibration, a subtle pressure in a specific part of the body. For example, left shoulder, ancestral burden; solar plexus, inherited fear; throat, generational silence; lower back, survival trauma; heart, unprocessed grief. As the sensation becomes stronger, a realization dawns. This feeling is familiar. You have felt it your whole life, but it was never yours. This is the first moment of awakening inside the chamber. The moment when the thread stops hiding. The moment you are allowed to work. The observer appears. Before the ritual can begin, there is one more presence you must face. The Egyptians called it the observer, not Thoth himself, not a guardian spirit, not an ancestor, but a projection of your own higher awareness. It stands behind you. You will not see it. You will not hear it, but you will feel the weight of its attention. The observer does not interfere. It witnesses. It ensures that the clearing is done with truth.
The clearing sound. This is the vibrational key whispered only in the deepest chambers of the Egyptian mystery schools. A frequency said to fracture ancestral programming at its root. The sound does not come from the throat alone, but from the memory field behind the heart. And once spoken correctly, even once, it begins a dissolution that cannot be reversed. There is a strange moment before any true transformation, a moment when the air thickens, the inner noise falls silent, and you sense that something is about to begin that will not allow you to return
to who you were before. This is that moment. You stand in the night chamber. The thread has revealed itself. The observer waits, and the sigil of Thoth hums like a faint pressure behind your brow. Now you will learn what the priests hid. But before the sound is revealed, you must understand the danger. Ancient teachers warned, a sound used without awareness is a blade in untrained hands. Because sound is not simply vibration, it is instruction. When you speak with emotion, you program your nervous system. When you chant with intention, you program your subconscious. But when you speak the clearing sound in the chamber of Thoth, you program your entire lineage field. You can dissolve patterns, but you can also activate dormant ones. You can heal, but you can also destabilize. This is why the observer watches. This is why the sigil appears. This is why the door must pull you in rather than you forcing entry. If you're still here now, it means the chamber has judged you ready. Now breathe. Slow, heavy, ancient. The sound that opens the thread. The clearing sound is formed from 3 syllables, but you will not shout them. You will not sing them, you will release them the way thunder releases itself from clouds. Say this silently first, then aloud. Sa, hu, rem. Not Sahurem, not Sahurem. The sound must be felt more than spoken. Break it down. Sa, the cut. Hu, the breath of dissolution. Rem, the return to original memory. When spoken correctly, the sound vibrates through the chest and rises into the skull. A subtle warmth spreads through the ribs. A strange ringing grows behind the ears. Some people feel their hands tingle. Some feel their back straighten involuntarily. This is the thread responding. Now speak it now, softly. Let the breath shape it. Do not force it. Sa, hu, rem. As the sound flows out of you, something inside will tighten. Not in resistance, but in recognition. The thread begins to vibrate. This is the opening. What the thread does when it awakens. Many people imagine the thread loosens immediately. It does not. It tightens first, sharply, like a muscle contracting before releasing poison. You may feel a pressure in the throat, a twist in the stomach, a sharp warmth in the chest, a cold wave down the spine, a sudden urge to breathe deeper. This is the thread's death coil, the last attempt to hold the emotional pattern in place. One initiate described, "It felt as though an emotion I had carried for decades suddenly realized I could see it and panicked." This tightening is not danger. It is recognition.
Imagine gripping a rope tied to something heavy. When you shake it free, the rope jerks violently before releasing. This is the same. Let the tightening happen. Do not fight it. Do not label it. Do not fear it. Now whisper the sound again gently. Sa, hu, rem. The tightening will peak, then soften. A heaviness will dissolve. The pressure will loosen. You may even feel a sudden emotional shift, grief, warmth, dizziness, relief. That is the moment the thread begins to unravel. The dissolution breath. Now the real work begins. The sound awakens the thread, but the breath dissolves it. The Egyptian breath is unlike modern breathing. It is not about oxygen. It is about moving memory through the energy field. Follow this exactly. The 3 layers of the dissolution breath. Breath 1, the descent breath. Inhale deeply. Imagine the air sliding down the spine like liquid metal. Hold for 2 seconds. Feel the thread vibrate. Breath 2, the burn breath. Exhale slowly through the nose. Imagine the thread glowing as the breath flows past it. Heat rising, pattern loosening. Breath 3, the release breath. Inhale sharply through the nose once. Exhale in a soft sigh. Let the body slump slightly. This signals surrender, the key to releasing ancestral programming. These 3 breaths create a cycle. 3 cycles open the thread, 7 cycles dissolve it. But listen carefully, this is where most fail. During the dissolution, the mind will attempt to interpret the feeling. It will say, "This is my sadness. This is fear. This is trauma. This is anxiety." Do not name it. Naming the thread reattaches it. The observer watches to ensure you do not make this mistake. Take 7 cycles now. Move slowly. Let the body respond naturally. You may feel tears forming without emotion, a trembling in the hands, the spine straightening, a memory surfacing, a sudden yawning sensation, warmth spreading across the ribs. These are signs of dissolution. When the 7th cycle ends, whisper once more, Sa, Hu, Rem. The thread will dissolve. The moment of emptiness. When the thread dissolves, something strange occurs. For the first time in your life, the emotional tone tied to that thread, perhaps something you assumed was part of your personality, vanishes. In its place, a silence appears. A pure, disorienting stillness. Some people call it peace. Some call it numbness. Some call it emptiness. Some call it The integration ritual. This is the final stage, the quiet but powerful sealing of your transformation. It stabilizes the cleared ancestral thread, reorganizes your energy field, and prepares the subconscious to operate without the vanished pattern. Without integration, the clearing dissolves, but without stability, the mind may recreate the old wound through habit. Integration ensures that the old line ends with you. The Egyptians believed that clearing a thread is less dangerous than integrating it. Why? Because clearing removes a familiar weight, but integration forces you to live and choose without it. Imagine carrying a stone in your pocket since childhood. Imagine walking differently because of it. Imagine building your identity around its presence, subtle, constant, shaping every movement. Tonight, the stone was removed, but the body still remembers the posture of carrying it. The mind still remembers the stories built around it. The nervous system still anticipates its weight. Integration teaches the body how to walk without the stone. It teaches the soul how to breathe without the shadow. It teaches destiny how to unfold without obstruction. This section guides you through the steps that complete the night ritual of Thoth and anchor the new pattern into your field. But be warned. This stage is subtle, delicate, and cannot be rushed. You are about to rewrite the architecture of who you become. The silence after the clearing. After the thread dissolves, there is a strange, almost uncanny silence that settles both within you and around you. It is not the silence of absence, it is the silence of readiness. Some initiates described it as a desert just after the storm, a long corridor with no echoes left, a candlelit room where the candle has not yet been lit. You feel this now, perhaps, a softened chest, a quiet mind, a subtle vibration behind the heart, a sense of spaciousness where something heavy once lived. This silence is the new foundation, but silence alone is not integration. It is only the blank page. Now you will write the new reality upon it. The geometry of the rewritten field. When the thread dissolves, your energy field collapses inward for a moment, then expands outward into a new shape. This subtle restructuring mirrors ancient Egyptian temple geometry, sacred proportions that symbolized transformation. The narrow passageway, dissolution. The wider chamber, integration. The open courtyard, rebirth into destiny. Energetically, you move through these stages now. The first signs of integration include a soft buzzing at the crown, a pulsing warmth behind the heart, a slight heaviness in the legs, a wave of deep calm, sudden emotional neutrality. These sensations mean the new geometry is forming. Thoth's priests taught, a cleared field is like the night sky after a star collapses. If the sky is not stabilized, another star will form in its place. In modern terms, if you do not integrate consciously, your subconscious will replace the dissolved thread with a new pattern, possibly similar to the old one. Integration prevents this. How? By giving your system new instructions. The instruction breath. Sit or lie with your spine straight. Bring awareness to the center of your chest. Inhale gently through the nose. Hold for 3 seconds, not in tension, but in stillness. Whisper internally the phrase, "I choose the path unburdened." Exhale slowly through the mouth as though pushing warm air across the surface of water. Feel the field expand outward as the new vibration settles. Repeat this 7 times. Each repetition instructs the subconscious. This is the new configuration. This is the new state. This is who I am now. If the old thread tries to reattach, and sometimes it will, you may feel a brief return of the old emotion, a subtle pull downward, a flicker of tension in the old location. Do not fear this. It is simply the body checking whether the pattern still holds. It doesn't. It cannot. The clearing sound severed it. But the body needs reassurance. The instruction breath provides it. The observer's final message. As you breathe, you may sense the observer again. Not behind you this time, not watching, but standing beside you in stillness. This is the final sign that integration is working. The observer is a representation of your higher awareness, and now it is no longer separate from you. It has stepped into your field. Ancient writings say, when the observer and the self stand in the same place, the new destiny begins to write itself. You are no longer two beings, one conscious, one subconscious. You are one field, unified. The observer dissolves into you. This is the symbolic end of the ritual, but the rewriting has only begun. How destiny begins to shift. Most people misunderstand destiny. They believe it is fixed. But destiny is not a line. It is a trajectory. And when the emotional weight is removed from the trajectory, the path bends, subtly at first, then dramatically. After integration, you may experience opportunities appearing without effort, sudden clarity about decisions, emotional detachment from old conflicts, relationships shifting, ending, or deepening, a new sense of timing in life events, a surge of creativity or direction, a sense that something is about to open. This is not coincidence. It is the collapsing of timelines that were built upon the old programming. When the programming dissolves, the timelines built upon it lose meaning. You step onto a new track. This is what the priests meant when they said, "The one who clears a thread rewrites the path of 7 generations." In modern terms, you changed the field that future descendants would inherit. You became the point of transformation. The practice of the new path. To solidify this shift, taught students practiced a final ritual, the step of truth. This is not a chant, not a breath, not a meditation. It is a choice. You must take one action, small or large, that reflects the new field. Speak where you once stayed silent. Set a boundary you once feared. Pursue a desire you once hesitated to claim. Release something you once clung to. Take the first step towards something you always delayed. This single action anchors the new identity. It is the anchor, the seal, the last stroke. Without it, the integration remains incomplete. Choose your action tonight or tomorrow. Something true, something aligned, something that reflects the person you have become. Even a small action can seal a massive transformation. The last breath of integration. To complete the ritual now, breathe with me. Inhale, slow.